Welcome to On the Attack with Mac, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up today because if you're watching on Instagram, StreamYard has updated something, and now you get to see the show on Instagram in the best possible way, which is vertical. But if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, it is still in landscape form. So now we are serving everybody. Shout out to StreamYard. This is fire. But today we're going to be talking about leaf season and how I do my leaf season. Now, what I will tell you is this: I am not the expert. So what I'm about to share with you is how I do things. Okay. Every time I tell you anything, it is simply how I do it. Doesn't mean it's the right way, doesn't mean it's the wrong way, but it is a way for you to see how it's done, or in this case, hear how it's done, and then take what you want and use it and throw the rest away, listen to some other people and adopt some of the practices that they do. But this is how I do things, and I want to share it with you. But we start each and every show on Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook with live viewer shout outs. So let me hit this banner real quick and we will get to the live viewer shout outs. And then after that, we will have the motivational minute, followed by the winners of the week. And last but certainly not least, my homie, Marcus Tate, the LBC OGs word of the week before we get into how we do leaf season. And I got three little topics within this leaf season. So we'll see how long I need to talk. But if you want to join the show, once I get done going through what I go through, I will put a link down in the comment section on YouTube. So if you want to join the show and tell us how you do your leaf cleanups, I would love to hear it. So let's get right into this. All right, over here on Instagram, we're going to hit the Instagram people first. And if you want to be shouted out and you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, the only way I'm going to know that you're here is if you comment down below. And if you really want to help the show out, do me a favor and share a link with some of the people who are on social media right now so we can hear their thoughts on leaf season as well. But over here on Instagram, we got Sky Conklin in the building, Granson Sons. He says, "What's up?" We got Thompson Lawn Care 513. Shang's Landscaping is in the building. Field Source, Ohio. What is going on with you? Wood Brian All Season LLC. How are you doing? Diesel Man 11389. What's up? Maria and Sons. How are you? A cut above. That's my man. How are you? Seeds Landscaping LBC OG is in the building, and we got Wild Willie 23 in the building. Woodbrine All Season says, saying what's up and hope all is well, coming from Bend, Oregon. What is going on? We all the way on the West Coast. Bend, Oregon. It is, what time is it over there? 6:09? That's fire. But over here on YouTube's, we got Mallard Allen. That's my homie Dave. What's going on with you? CR Lawn Maintenance. What's going on? Moggs, how are you? Lawrence Talbert, what's going on with you, brother? Penn Brothers Lawn and Landscape. Stick around because you are going to be acknowledged here in a second. We got Jordan too and Wilbert Eifert in the building. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a fun show tonight, man. I seen a whole lot of cool things over the last couple weeks, especially at Equip Expo a week and a half ago. And it has just been an exciting time. I know it's at the end of the season, and I don't know about you personally, but I tend to get some seasonal depression around this time because I know the thing that I enjoy doing so much is coming to an end. We do transition to leaf season for about a month or so, and then it is to get ready for the snow. Now, I personally don't even like doing snow at all, but I do it. All right. I ain't gonna say I'm excited about it, but I am a little disappointed that the season is coming to a close. Let me know down in the comments, or if you're listening to this later on, how you feel about the season coming to a close here. We are in the early parts of November, and I am excited to see what is to come here in the fall and then in the winter. But I can't wait to get back to the spring to light the grass cutting go-karts up again. But that's our live viewer shout outs. Let me see. We got any more people in here. TGK Hardscapes is in the building. What is going on? Diesel Man 1138 is Matthews Lawn Care. What's going on with you? Nick Mitch, how are you? Nick Mitch 89. What's up with you over here? Like we said, Jordan 2 says, my man Jeff Rigney is in the building. He says, my man, I'm Jeff from RPM in Georgia. Thank you for adding me to the last videos into the Vernon Lanes. Yeah, hey, shout out to anyone that I got to meet down at Equip Expo. It was fire. I appreciate everyone who came to support the event. I hope you had a wonderful time. I talked about it last week, but it was amazing, and I'm still kind of on cloud nine after all of that happened. And I'm excited because at the beginning of March, well, towards the end of March, we'll be doing the Winning Life lawn care setup showcase. So be on the lookout for that link. But that's who we got in here right now watching the show live. Let me know if you're watching on Instagram. Is it a better viewing experience for you now that we're not a little rectangle in the middle of the screen, but filling the entire screen on your phone if that's how you're watching? Which I don't even know if can you watch Instagram. I guess you could watch it on a computer. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Uh, Keystone Terra LLC is in the building. Nick Mitch is from Lake Tahoe. Where's Lake Tahoe at? Where I don't know. I've heard that before, but I'm not familiar where Tahoe is. But uh is that where Ozark that show on Netflix was? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I'm getting off. My ADHD is on fire right now. All right. We're going to have some fun tonight. But we got to get to this week's motivational minute. Let me get a sip of water. ADC Yardworks is in the building. Lone Wolf Landscaping is in the building. What is going on? I had to get that sip of water real quick. Boy, I tell you what, talking like this, it ain't easy. Okay. It ain't easy. But this week's motivational minute. So, something that has been on my mind lately is a lot of people are asking me, "Oh, win in life, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?" And I've talked about it before. I want to have a long funeral procession. We ain't gonna bore you with that stuff today. But in order to complete what it is that you got to complete in your life, you got to actually try. And there's a big thing out here trying to get you to not try. So this week's motivational minute has been on my mind all week. I've been listening to pretty much the same YouTube motivational video for a minute. I don't know about you, but I need to hear positive things and things that are going to help to uplift me. This is why I start the show with a motivational minute after shouting out the people who come here to watch the show live to help keep the energy that I have. Because if someone wasn't watching, I probably wouldn't be able to talk like this. But I thought that I was supposed to be an athlete of some sort. Okay. And I was actually pretty damn good. It got me through what I needed to get through, but I had a destiny. And because I was so infatuated with what I thought I was supposed to be, I was being robbed of my destiny. And so this week's motivational minute is I heard this speech from Steve Harvey. If you watch the Family Feud, he gives speeches in between commercial breaks and to the people who are in the crowd. One time I heard him say he always wants to leave somebody with something good when they come to see the show or anytime they hear him speak. And one of the things I heard him talking about was how the devil's only job is to rob you of your destiny. He said that's his only job. And so when you have negative thoughts about the thing that you know that you're supposed to create, you got it in your mind. It's an idea. You've imagined that it could happen. That's God telling you that you're supposed to do it. I've said that on here before, and I said it when I was on the stage down at the morning show. Is that God talks to us through giving us ideas. And the ideas are for you to use so that you can really find your greatness. But then there's things out here that are telling us what we can't do. Sometimes it's our family, sometimes it's our friends, sometimes it's situations that we've been in and that we're stuck on. And that is the devil trying to get to stop you from doing the thing that is really going to take you to the level that you actually want to go. And that will be so pleasing to the Lord because we were put here to win in our life. It's why I'm so adamant about that. But a lot of us are being robbed of our destiny because we thought something was supposed to be one way and it didn't happen that way. And then we get stuck there. That was me. So I ain't trying to say that's where you're at, but I don't want you to get to that. I don't want anyone who hears my voice to be robbed of their destiny, especially if you already feel like you have been. So it's not too late to get started on that idea that you had, that you know that if you actually tried it, it might just come into fruition. So don't be robbed of your destiny, and don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to that voice that's in your head telling you what you can't do, what you can't be, where you can't go, and what you can't see. Because we got vision where we're going. And the vision was given to us by greatness already. So don't be robbed of your destiny, and get out there and get after it, because the ideas that you have, if you just act on them, practice on them, get passionate about them, I don't believe they can fail. So don't be robbed of your destiny. That's this week's Motivational Minute. It was brought to you by On the Attack with Mac podcast. If you enjoy the show, whether you watch it live on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, or you hear it later on through the podcast, do me a favor, comment on the video, share it with a friend or two, or if you're listening on the podcast, do me a huge favor and leave a 5-star review. If you feel it's anything other than a 5-star, do your boy a favor and DM me at Mac_landscaping and let me know how I can improve for you, because this is all about you. I ain't talking to talk about me for me. It's for you. I want to help you. So if this does help you in any way, do me a favor and head over there and show some love. But now we got to get to this week's winner of the week, and we're going to make an announcement also within this week's winner of the week. Let me know if you're getting some value from the episode already. I hope that you are, and don't be robbed of your destiny like I almost was. Almost. But I heard an old man tell me one time, we were playing Atari. I lived down in South Carolina. We were playing this racing game, Atari, in case you young people don't know what that is. It was like one of the first gaming consoles. We're playing this racing game. We're flying around the track. I was probably like 8 years old. And we're sitting outside of a trailer at a trailer park. They're cooking some sort of stew over a fire like we were camping. But we're playing Atari on this little tube TV, 13-inch, going in circles, going in circles, going in circles. Checker flag happens, boom, the old man beats me. He beat me. I'm making this part up. Let's just say it was by a couple tenths of a second. And I said to him, I almost won. And he said back to me, almost don't put no stew in the pot. So almost don't get it done, man. That was something I learned. But this week's winner of the week, we have two, like I said. The first one is Penn Brothers Lawn Care. They're in here right now, watching on the YouTubes or Facebook. I'm not sure which one, but they are the winner of the week because we're in leaf season. I'm about to talk about leaf season here in a second. And they went out and got two brand new PB9010 blowers, the Echo Big Boy with the over 1000 CFM. Still, to me, the king of all of the backpack blowers thus far. I'm sure some new, bigger, and better things will be out here at some point in the future. But them two PB9010s, we know how much easier leaf removals and cleanups and things like that are when you have bigger and stronger leaf blowers and things like that. So shout out to Penn Brothers Lawn Care for getting two brand new PB9010s. And then secondly, the second winner of the week is the new debut podcast that will be dropping tomorrow on the Attack with Mac, the wife of a landscaper. We had down at Equip Expo, my wife did a wife takeover of the On the Attack with Mac podcast, and she had my sister, Larissa Tate, Marcus Tate, the LBCOG's wife, Rhonda Dickey, who just won the brand new Viper uh, zero-turn mower and trailer giveaway with her husband, Matthew Dickey, while he was in the Energize thing with Fullerton getting energized. His wife was out there getting some mowers and trailers in a giveaway. So that was fire. And then also my homie John Pajak's wife Tiffany was on the show with the wife. So the wives took over the show. That will be dropping tomorrow, and those special episodes will be coming out as regularly as my wife wants to do them. But I'm happy to announce we will have a second, I guess, podcast within the On the Attack with Mac, what do you want to call it? Umbrella, atmosphere, universe. So shout out to my wife and the other wives that are going to be a part of that journey as we grow a second podcast on here, because it can't just be about the guys all the time. And we got some wonderful women that tune in to the shows here when I do the show. But I know that there's a lot of wonderful women out there who are supporting their spouse, and they need somewhere to talk to. So we're going to give it to them. Shout out to the Wife of a Landscaper podcast coming soon. The first one will drop tomorrow morning. If you're listening to this now, it is Monday. This will come out on a Tuesday, and then we're going to rock out from there and see how many we can go. So if you hear the podcast and you enjoy it and you are a woman, man, go over there and give it a 5-star review. We would appreciate that. Now that we got the new announcement out of the way, we got our winners of the week out of the way, let me bring you a powerful word of the week. But we got Caden Grant in the building over here, D's Lawn Service in the building, Birdman in the building, 10K Peso in the building, Good Stripes is in the building over here on Instagram, Ty Marlowe, XX Craig Saratoga XX is in the building. Clark Williamson, more bullies. What's going on with you? CGS Exterior Services and Stu Dance. How are you doing today? It is a great day, and my man Marcus Tate gave me a great word. So get ready, because it's about to be powerful, literally. And this week's word of the week, every week, my homie Marcus Tate, the LBC OG, sends me a word of the week, and he sends it to other people too. But I got his permission to use the word of the week as a segment to not only honor him, but to help you. All right. So this week's word of the week is power. Power is defined as the ability to do something, having a capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others. Just know you have power. I am serious. You have power. The power literally gives you the ability to do or overcome anything you put your mind to. Let's use our power to empower ourselves, family, and friends to be the best possible version of ourselves. One of my favorite quotes: with great power comes great responsibility. Let's just make sure we don't waste our power. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That is from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week, Marcus Tate. You have a huge power. Whew, man, you were given a power just by being here. I had a conversation with my cousin Sharita last night. She's a doctor down in Georgia. All right. We was talking about this power. You got so much power. We got unlimited power. We got so much power, we don't even know that we have it. But it's not to live in the spirit of fear, but so we can have a sound mind, so we can get out here and get things done for our family, for our future, for the world, and most importantly, for God. So don't waste your power. Use your power, but use it for good. All right. Be a hero, not a villain. All right. And I can't wait to see how well you use your power here the rest of 2025 and into 2026 and far out there into the future. Let's go. But now that we got that out of the way, I never even put the banner up. We got Lemere Landscaping in the building. What's going on with you? My homie Drew is in the building. The God Gerard is in the building. Taco underscore 2 is in the building. Shira Gapin is in the building. MK Landscaping in the building. What's going on with y'all? I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. But let's get into the main part of the show now, which is leaf season. And if you have any input or questions or whatever, I'll try to get through this as quick as possible. And I will throw the link in the comment section on YouTube. So if you would like to join to talk for a few minutes about leaf season, I wouldn't mind having you on here. But I want you to understand something. We ain't gonna be on here all doggone night. So we're gonna have to cut to the chase and get to the point. But let me put this join link in the comment section. And if you want to join, I'll see you pop up down there in the green room and we can rock out from there. But I got 3 points I want to make about leaf season. And it is Leaf surcharges, what I'm using to be efficient, and my process for how I do leaf cleanups with me and Captain Jack. So, first, we'll get to leaf surcharges. When I was down at Equip Expo, I had a few people come up to me. I want to say one of them was my man from Adept Lawn Care, and they were asking me about the surcharges. Now, he was already doing it already how I was doing it on his own. It ain't like what I'm doing is some, you know, magical thing that no one else is doing. I ain't special, all right? But this is how I'm doing it. And we happen to be doing surcharges about the same. And here's the reason. You have to, we are already mowing. So when I talk about surcharges, we're talking about the current customers that I have. I'm not talking, you can't surcharge a customer that you don't have, right? So these are my weekly mowing clients. But once we get to this portion of the year, the leaves are going to start falling. And we're going to take longer to do those yards because I want to leave the yard looking nice. It's easy to just get to a yard that has leaves all over it, mow over it one time on 3 inches, 325, whatever your cutting height is. I don't know, or where you're at in the country. But we could go over it once. It's gonna have some stripes on it, but they'll be camouflaged by the leaf debris that's all over the place because one pass, even with the shoot down, ain't gonna get it done. It just ain't. So because it's gonna take us longer, typically for me, we're gonna do 1 to 3 passes to mulch up the leaves. Sometimes we could get away with going over the leaves one time and there's not a lot of them or whatever, and then we're always gonna do a finishing cut once we mulch the leaves up to stripe the yard up again. So for surcharges, it takes more time to do that. So if the yard typically takes you 15 minutes, but now there's leaves on the ground and now it's taking you an hour, well, if the price was $50 for 15 minutes for you to do that weekly mow, but now because there's leaves on the ground, it increases to a whole 60 minutes. Well, you were doing it took you 3/4 longer. Now you're at 100% the whole hour when you were doing it in a quarter of that time. So should you continue to charge $50 even though this is taking you an hour? No. But at the beginning, I was that's exactly what I was doing. I was still charging $50, but now I'm going over this thing 5 times to get the yard to look nice. It's taking me an hour and then I'm leaving getting $50 and their yard still looks pristine, but I ain't getting no extra money. Okay? So, I had to start charging the surcharges, and if you're not doing that, I would encourage you to start doing that. You have to get paid for that extra time. So when my man asked me the question and I explained how I do it, which is really you just add on that extra time. So if it was $50, but now it's taking you an hour, it would just be $200. So that would be an extra 150 on that surcharge. Now, 150 seems a little dramatic. It could be, but you can adjust it based off of the times, right? And it's an easy calculation. I'm not going to go over the calculation with you, but you can do that very, very simple. If something took you 15, well, we'll do this one real quick. If it took you 15 minutes and now it's taking you 30 minutes, then you just double it and add another $50 and that covers you. Now, if you have to take leaves away, this is for mulching the leaves I'm talking about. If you got to take leaves away, you got to add another surcharge for the disposal because no matter where you're going, you're driving somewhere to dump that stuff. And even if it's free, you're still driving there and it's taking you time. So if it's free, awesome, right? You charge that extra little bit, but if you are driving somewhere and then paying a dump fee, you got to pass that dump fee on to the customer. So I hope that makes sense for the surcharges. And what I've discovered in my time doing it this way is that typically we're going to mow probably till the week before Thanksgiving. We do like a bi-weekly mowing in November. So we're probably going to do 2, maybe 3 in some cases. We have done 3 weeks of weekly mowing into November. But last year and this year, it doesn't look like we're going to need to do that. So when you're at the house already, and I explained this before in other shows, but when you're already you're going to be there anyway. It's going to take more time. Those 3 times that we're there, let's just say it's 75 dollars. So 2 times 150, 3 times 225, right? And then let's just say there's still half the leaves are still up on the tree. Well, now you already got 225. Now we have a windstorm or something, the leaves fall down, you come back and it takes you an hour and a half to clean up the rest of the leaves, and you can charge another 225, and boom, you're out of there. You still made uh what is that, 450 for the leaf cleanup, but you also got your mowing money as well with those surcharges. So you might even make a little more than that, an extra $150. So now you're at 600 bucks or whatever that math is. You do the math. You got a calculator right now, and I'm live off the top of the dome, ADHD out here killing it. But that is leaf surcharges, and why I believe you should be charging those once you get to mid to late October into November before you convert fully to. For us, I'm about to explain how we do the things to be efficient and what we use, but uh for us, I don't even remember where I was going with that. Let's just move on. That was number one. Number two, what I'm using to be efficient, because you want to do it as fast as possible, right? So this is what I'm using currently. Like I said, we are still in the middle of mowing, so we're not taking on any outside leaf removals. So we're still taking care of our regular customers. So what I'm using currently to be the most efficient is I put the X blades on. Just did a YouTube video about that. So we put the X blades on with now there's 6 blades under the HDX. That is the only one. We're using the 52 as well. That doesn't have a shoot blocker on there. I didn't put X blades on it. It has a smaller engine. And just to be safe, because once you put 6 blades under there, things are flying out of that opening, out of the chute, what even faster than they would with just the typical 3 blades under there. So we only have X blades on the HDX right now. And what we're doing, and also using the 9010 blowers, and in some cases rakes, but we don't really need to use them. But basically what we do is we just blow everything out into the yard, and then I run it over with the HDX 1 to 3 times, and then do a finishing cut. Anywhere that jack is and there's a whole lot of leaves, we'll go on that part of the yard first and blow them out. So we're not just running over our leaves a whole bunch of times and we can't direct where they go unless we're just going in circles or going back and forth one way. It's just seems to be faster for us for those spots where Jack has to mow, for us to just blow the leaves out to where I am first. But that's what we're using to be efficient right now. And then when that's over, we will transition to my homie Piper, Talon, and Tommy. They use Tommy's dump trailer because Piper has a dump trailer, Tommy has a dump trailer, and Talon has one. And so Pipes is still doing tree work. We're going to take down, I don't know, three, probably like 7 trees that we're going to do at the end of the season on November 17th. But he still needs his dump trailer for tree work. Talon still needs his dump trailer to transport around skid steers and everything. So they built a huge leaf trailer. It is wild. And we both have 18 horsepower debris loaders. So they put theirs on right now. Mine is just kind of sitting in purgatory. But since it's just a trailer, when we move over to open it up to new people, I'll have the ability to borrow the trailer whenever I need to. And we all share uh, various tools, mowers when we need. So I know that's not going to be a problem. But that's what we're using: vacuums, blowers, mowers with shoe blockers and X blades on them. And that's how we're taking everything to. That's how we're doing everything right now. What we're using to be efficient. Now, I'll quickly go over the process, and it looks like we have one person down here um, that we'll do 5 or 10 minutes with. If there's any other people who want to come on and talk about how they're, like my man Alan Lemere, he has a fire blower. I would like to talk to him about that. So, Alan, if you're still in here, bruh, hit the link so we can hear about your experience with that Toro what is it called? Pro Force blower? Because I've been thinking about grabbing one of those. Those are fire. But now here's the process. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but today when I got to our first property, there was a ton of leaves that are getting blown from a trees across the street as well as the trees that are there. And so what we did was is there's like a little uh what is it called? A storm, not a storm drain, but like a ditch. And so the leaves kind of get packed in there. So we went down with the two blowers and took care of those, blew everything out into the yard, blow all of the flower beds out. We still haven't cut our perennials out yet. We're starting that this week as well. But we're gonna blow everything out into the yard. And then, like I said, I'm gonna run over it. I'll probably go in circles a few times to kind of direct everything to the middle. And then here's a pro tip for you. A lot of times when you have the blowers, if you want to, I mean the mowers, and you're using the mowers to do this, if you want to, if you're gonna mulch everything up, a lot of times the leaves tend to pile up in the front of the mower because you got the deck down and they just can't get under the underneath the deck. So it turns into like a plow. And now you're plowing the front of the thing. So what I do is I go in a circle, put everything in the middle, and then me and my homie Cedric, we talked about this. We just back up, we go backwards over the stuff, and that way it gets sucked into the deck where we get the chute block down and X blades under there. Now we're pulverizing those leaves. So we're going to do that 2 to 3 times to process those leaves down as small as possible. And then after that, we're going to stripe it up in a different direction. And then that really disperses the leaves. And before you know it, they're disintegrated down and, turned into fertilizer for the yard over the winter anyway. But that's basically the process. Blow everything out of the beds, away from any structures or anything, into the middle of the yard. 1 to 3 passes, processing the leaves, and then a final finishing cut. And right now we're cutting between 3 and 3.25 inches to round the thing out, and everything looks beautiful and striped up again. But we are coming down here to the end, and we are going to be doing our final shrub trimmings, our perennial cutbacks, and mulching up whatever leaves. But that's basically leaf season for us. And now, before we bring my man Alan, I see him down here. We got Drew. I don't know if he's ready to have him come on. He can tell us how him and Spence Crisco are taking care of their stuff, but I don't see him. So, going once, going twice. And sold. Okay, here we go. Now I'm happy to bring in one of my homeboys, my man Alan Lemere from up there in Boston. He's up there in Boston. So what's going on with you, Alan? How are you, bro? Thanks for
Good,
joining.
Mac. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, you got good audio too. I like that professionalism in podcasting.
Fire, bro.
No
uh,
doubt. But before we get started, Alan, I think this is your first time on the show. Tell everybody who you are. What do you do? What do you specialize in?
I'm Alan Lemere. We own Lemere Landscaping up in just near Boston, Mass. We do weekly maintenance. We do a lot of fertilization, lawn care. We don't get heavy into landscape installations, and we don't do any hardscaping. We're kind of new, so we're trying to do what we do well.
Yeah, hey,
So,
I like it. That's what you know me, Alan. That's
yeah,
what I preach. So, um, yeah, you ain't got to do all that extra fancy stuff. I've seen where Alan started and where he is now. He
oh my
got a
God,
fire set up, a whole lot of cool things. He's doing social media now, so I'm happy to have him on here. But Alan, one of the things I seen you posted a reel. You said, "Can two guys use leaf blowers and take care of a path that is what, like, I don't know how wide it was, but it's like 20 feet long or 200 feet long or something like that, and you did it in 20 seconds." So tell us about that reel and this Pro Force blower.
so the Toro Multiforce, it's a beast for us, especially during mulch season. But when we do spring and fall cleanups, it's a game changer. A yard that might have taken us two guys 8 hours to do, we can do it now in about 1 to 2 hours with that machine. So basically, we just do all of our we're doing all of our perennial cutbacks now, so that way leaf cleanups go pretty quickly. Um, the rest of the month and then into December. So we'll do all the cutbacks, blow everything out of the bushes in the gardens, and then we use that Pro Force to blow everything into the woods or to a leaf pile in the front to use a debris loader. So
Yeah, that's fire, bro.
yeah,
So what is your what? How many years you been doing this so far?
a year and a half.
A
So
year and a half. And how
yeah,
many customers are you currently taking care of?
we do 50 high-end residential weekly clients. Um, we, big yards, about 20,000 square feet up to an acre on average usually.
Mm,
We have a few yards under 15,000 square feet, but this year I went from 15 fertilizer accounts last year to over 2 million square feet, and I had 71 clients for fertilizer and weed control.
wow.
Um, yeah,
You've accomplished so much in such a short period of time.
yeah.
50, because I hear when a lot of times when people start out, they have a issue with getting customers. What was your how have you gotten up to 50 customers so quickly?
So a lot of word of mouth. My town, I grew up in this town, and we know a lot of families that our kids are in school with, or from sports. We both coach sports, and so we're pretty heavily involved with the schools and after school activities. I volunteer at the soccer fields, and I volunteer to coach. So we did
Oh,
a bunch of jobs last year for people that we knew that were on like main roads of town, and then put up a lawn sign. And um, we begged for Google reviews last year, so we have like 85 Google reviews, which is awesome.
wow.
Um,
85 Google
yeah,
reviews. It's crazy. That's
yeah.
dope.
I just asked everybody nonstop. You know, I kind of beg from, but um, so that helps. And then we did postcards. We tried to market to the neighborhoods that we want to be in. And the neighborhoods that I want to be in, I make their lawn the nicest it can be. Like we
Mm,
do with all of our lawns, but if it's a really high end lawn, we might have had one or two in those neighborhoods last year, and this year you'd end up with like their neighbors or people across the street. So you're just driving down the road and you see like brownish grass or whatever or like green grass, but you
mhm.
can see when you can see your yard from like half mile down the road because it's that much greener.
Yeah,
You,
that's wild.
yeah, and
So
then and then people get jealous in that neighborhood. They want that lawn, and they see our trucks there all week. So
yeah, that's fire. So, I wanna ask you real quick, you got that Pro Force blower, what other tools or equipment are you using for leaves? And then I want to hear how you came to wanting to be in the industry because I think that's important for the people who are watching and who will listen to this later. But what other tools are you using for your leaf removal?
so last year was just me and my crew leader. This year it's three of us. They were doing the maintenance and the mowing while I was doing the fertilization. So this year we're going to be doing the Pro Force blower on the Multiforce. And then on the right, we have the leaf plow, which sometimes that's more efficient than the blower,
Mm.
especially if you're moving big piles to the curb to suck up.
Do you
So
have? Hold on, real quick. Do you have two multi forces or just one?
just one.
Okay.
And the right stander, we have two of those, a 72 and a 61. So we'll put a leaf plow on one of those, and then you can just push piles so quick. That's on my Instagram account too. You'll see how quick we can do that. So
Yeah.
and you have more control, especially if it's windy, and you can't really blow with the multi force into a pile because that shit's just shooting leaves all across the neighborhood.
I know, bro. Trust me. I
it's
know.
it's so good. It's so worth it. But the problem is we got so efficient. You have to charge for it because we were
Yeah.
like rushing through these jobs, and I was still charging like our 8 hour work, and we were getting it done in like 2 hours, and you'd be sitting around the rest of the day doing. So now we know we can take more clients, and we're doing an hourly rate of 325 an hour, and
See,
it's 125 just for us to show up.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
That's a thing that people have to understand is you've invested a lot of money into this equipment to do these jobs, and the people are calling you because they can't do the job.
yeah,
And so a lot of times, Alan, we diminish ourselves when we first start out because someone balks at a price. You're like, oh, this should be $350. And they're like, well, last year, dude did it for 125. And you're like, yeah, that guy didn't have insurance. He was out there with a push mower and a rake. And I'm out here with this $18,000 mower
yeah,
with a $2,000, 1,500, I don't know how much that blower is, blower on there, $600 backpack blowers, a
yeah.
$80,000 50 to $80,000 truck, dump trailers and all of this stuff. And this is why this is the price. Because whenever Alan leaves, there's not going to be leaves.
Yeah.
But when, you know, the joker down the street, the truck in the truck guy, there's going to be leaves all over your stuff. And
Yeah.
then they're going to be also in your neighbor's yard, and that's going to have them pissed. But Alan got the leaf plow, so he's not
Yeah.
even going to. It's like cool, man. You got to have those minimums, and then you got to stand firm on them too,
Yep.
right? You
So I
got to.
communicate with them. And some people will be like, if they're not a regular client, they don't really know, and they're like, "Well, what's going to stop you from not rushing?" I'm like, "Well, because the more jobs I get done per day, the more times I collect that $125 stop price. So it doesn't matter if I work 8 hours for you or 8 hours for somebody else, but I want to get as many jobs done. I want to make as many people happy as I can. Um, but so we're efficient, and I tell them, I'm like, I invest a lot of money in efficiencies and high end equipment. I'm like, you're not going to see anybody with a setup like we have.
Yeah.
It, the 29010s that we use, I mean, we have four of them, but we don't have a crew that big. But I mean, the Pro Force blower on that Toro has 7,800 cubic feet per minute, and I think the 9010 is 1,100, so that's like 7 times as powerful,
Right.
6
That's
to 7
crazy.
times. Plus, you're moving at the speed of a mower.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
You're
didn't
not
even
w-
think of that.
you're not walking. You're not using your arm to getting tired. You're not tired at the end of the day. It's a game changer. And
Yeah.
we're just shooting woods like 20 feet into shooting leaves 20 feet into the woods.
Yeah. If you don't mind me
So
asking, how much does a Pro Force blower cost?
I want to say it was like 5 grand, but I get the Toro fleet discount, so I think I saved 24%. So
Nice. That's
yeah,
fire, bro.
so
That's fire. Well, tell us what inspired you to get into business and what were you doing prior to lawn care?
so I did restaurant management for about 20 years. A lot of people on here that I've met. I know a lot of the people that are in here. They probably heard, but I did restaurant management for 20 years, and then after COVID, um, I was making too much money and they couldn't pay me, so they laid me off. I was like a general manager for a while, and then I was a district manager. So I had the customer service background, and I had like the business background of it. And then when I was laid off, I got a job at Boston Dynamics working with robots up in Boston. That's pretty cool. But I was playing soccer, and you get old and you think you can still play soccer with a bunch of kids in their 20s and 30s, and I destroyed my shoulder. So 2.5 years later, I'm going under the knife again in December for surgery number 4.
Wow. What's
So
wrong with your shoulder?
I broke the ball of the shoulder in half where it meets the socket twice, and I broke the
Oh,
humerus twice.
oh my
So
God.
I got laid off at Boston Dynamics, and like 6 months later, my life. So what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm gonna start a lawn care company. She goes, what?
Wow.
So I told you this last time we met, or last time we spoke. It's because I was sitting around watching YouTube, and I run into this crazy guy called Keith Galfus yelling at the camera and all this energy, and then you get Brian's lawn maintenance, and then you get Cornell Mack. It was you three that like got me
Wow.
started watching the YouTube rabbit hole, and next thing you know, that's like my algorithm, right? And I'm like, I want to do that. I'm like, I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I want to run my own business, and working outside, that's kind of like the dream. Who wants to
Yeah.
sitting around in a restaurant getting yelled at by angry people? Or I'm all set. So now I'm
Yeah.
living the
No,
dream, and I couldn't be happier.
that's fire.
I stole this from you. The grass cutting go karts, listening to music or a podcast, laughing my
Yeah.
ass off, and our clients are probably like, "Why is that guy always having so much fun here?"
That's how I feel, man.
Yeah,
Look, I'll be out there. I have my glasses on. I don't have them with me, or I put them on right now. But I'll be
yeah,
out there on my grass cutting go karts like this. So I'll be
yeah,
dancing. I'll have one leg off the thing,
yeah,
just having a good time. And maybe people think it's weird. No one's put me on the internet yet doing it. Like, so
yeah,
no one has like filmed me with their phone or anything. But I totally understand, Alan,
yeah,
because I remember whenever I first was out there. I won't say it was like that when I was push mowing, but when I got the grass cutting go kart, oh my gosh, it went from it was always joyful going out there, even with the push mowers, even carry them up the steps and everything. But when I got to it got fun then. It was like
yeah,
I was already changing my mind and my mind frame and how I thought and the things I was listening to already. But then when I got on the grass cutting go-kart, it was like, oh, now I ain't worried about the pain of my feet or, being so tired at the end of the day because now I'm literally riding around on a go-kart making money all day. And
Yeah,
people's like, "Oh, you cut grass." I'm like, "Yeah, bruh, I cut grass. What do you do? You work at CVS? Oh man,
yeah,
great. I mean, nothing's wrong with that, but like, I get up today. I started at 9 a.m. If you work at a place and they're like, you got to be here at 6:30, your ass better be there at 6:30, right?
yeah,
Because too many times you not being there, you gone. But me, you, and anyone who's listening to this who has already started are trying to tell the people who are about to start what it feels like when it's all on you. Now, there is
yeah,
some pressure that comes with that, isn't there, Alan? Especially if you have a family, especially
yeah.
if you got people that's counting on you. But we can
There's
do it.
uh there's definitely late nights, and there's some doubt about some things you do, but um, I invest a lot of money into coaching and some different groups, and I listen to what people say, and I decide if that would work for me or not. And then I've been a little risky with some of the things I've bought, but I believe, especially with uh, the workforce and labor and stuff, to invest in efficient equipment. Because if we can do it without another employee that's going to fall in sick or not work out, or we might as well just buy it and it will pay for itself. And it seems to have worked out so far.
Yeah. I kind of like when you buy the better thing and it takes the pressure off of having an extra employee. That's really it was getting the better equipment and investing in that early. Like, I don't really like the double buy, but when I seen like, all right, I went from this 48 to this 52, from the 52 to the 60, I'm like, all right, if I didn't get 15 employees, I would be just fine. Like I make plenty doing what we do now. So
Yeah.
having a better machine take some of that pressure off of you to go out there and get employees and do all of that stuff that everyone's talking about. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but for me personally, it's just not for me. I like doing it how I do it. So,
Yeah.
Alan, now that you are out in the field every day, what is some of your future plans that you wanna accomplish with your business and in life?
So next year I kind of get out of the field a little bit this year. I only mowed on Mondays while the guys were doing that. And then I was doing my fertilizer and then helping them out doing landscaping enhancements on Fridays. We don't schedule mowing on Fridays. So my plan is to grow this thing pretty quickly. Um, I want my son. He's 10 years old, and he wants to do this now. He
Awesome.
might change. He might change his mind, but I mean, he's out there. He can service the motors. He can do a tune up on them. He's mowing the neighbors' yards already. He's on the Toro 52-inch multi-force, ripping around the neighborhood. You know.
That's
Um.
cool.
So, but like I want to be able to retire myself and my wife pretty soon, um, and then have my employees grow with the company and give them a piece of ownership. And I want to, they shouldn't have to worry about a paycheck, so I pay them pretty well. If they need a day off for like a family thing or something to do with school, that's fine. It's
Hmm.
just grass. It's just grass.
Right.
So I try to be a good leader, and um,
Well, you're doing a hell of a job
yeah,
so far, it seems. We just was down at Equip Expo. I got to spend a lot of time with you down there.
yeah.
What are some things that you thought were cool, and why do you go to Equip Expo every year?
So I I made a decision to switch to Crest after I tried out the trimmer all
Mhm.
on my truck all last year. Um, the guys were still using the gas trimmers. And then I saw that it worked, and it worked for, sometimes 2 or 3 yards, sometimes 4 or 5, depending on the size. After I left Equip, I went to the dealership the day I got back and bought everything.
Wow.
So instead of starting next spring, I'm switching over the trailer. We're not doing very much trimming. I mean, it is what it is, but just take action now. So the gas trimmers will be coming off soon. We're not going to be doing the backpack blowers yet. We just don't have the battery power to do that. So
Yeah.
the 9010s, we need that up here in New England.
So do we.
So we'll see what happens with that in the long run. But I don't know. Quip was awesome. Like everything with the AI and Chat GBT and the way of the future. Like 10 years ago, the future might have been like today, but today the future is probably 6 months or a year from now. It's gonna go. It's gonna go this quick. It's gonna go insane. So if you're not prepared for the future, you're just gonna get left behind. So
Yeah, I was talking to this guy. He was on the podcast before. His name's Todd Reinhardt. He's from up there in Central Illinois.
yeah,
I had the opportunity to have a good talk with him. He has like multiple 15 to $20 million businesses, multiple of them.
yeah,
He has a lot of weed man franchises. I want to say like 14 or 15 of those. They take care of, I think he said it for him to go through a snow season, he needs 250 employees. And then throughout the year, he has 75 or something. So he's absolutely crushing. And he's like now a mentor for me.
yeah,
He'll be coming to talk to my group members here soon. But he was showing me the different technology that's coming. First, he already told me about robotic mowers, and if you want to hear about that, go back and listen to that
yeah.
episode if you're listening to this now. But he also showed me this robotic dog, and it it is running up steps, running down steps,
That's
jumping
that's
on things.
that's
It
where I
is
used to work.
yeah, it's I can't remember what the company's called. It's like
Boston Dynamics. It was Spot. That's what I used to work at.
yeah,
Yeah,
he showed me some crazy stuff, and it made me think like, number one, I'm sure that stuff is probably about to be used by the military soon. Like, they gonna stop putting soldiers out there and start putting robotic dogs with,
yeah,
you know, weaponry and things on them. Number one, but also number two is like they gonna start having these things deliver Amazon packages and food and all. Like we are here, it's here. They also are already experimenting with humanoid robots that are literally
yeah,
gonna be in the house. Hey, cook this how I want it cooked, right? But go down here and pick up my daughter from the school bus and walk her home. Like that's here. It's already here within the next 3 to 10 years. We're gonna be seeing these types of things happening. So I like that you brought that up because we don't want to be left behind. And if you are one of the things Todd was telling me, Alan, he said act first, if you act first, right? So are you going to be the first person in your area to do this?
yeah,
Because if you are, you become what everyone else wants to get. He's like, it becomes its own marketing. You ain't even got to market it. People think it's cool. So robots are coming, and I hope that you are with them or get left behind. But Alan, why you mentioned that you have been doing coaching, getting coaching and everything like that. Why is how has that helped you, number one, and why is it important for you to be in groups like that?
yeah. So I mean, someone that starts a business when they're 43, it's kind of late in life, right? So, um, some people are like, why do you spend so much money on coaching? To me, it's just like paying to go to college, but this is actually more important because I'm paying for people. You can basically call them like a professor, like they've been there, they've done that, they've made mistakes, they've seen what works for them, what doesn't. So for me to get coached or mentored, or um, I'm just kind of saving myself some headaches. I think I've grown pretty quickly. Just even taking the class with Payjack, and we got our numbers down to like by how many pencils we go through. Like he's charging for that, and I mean stuff like you wouldn't even think to charge for, like to repair. You think you might need to charge for to repair equipment and have that money set aside. You actually should be charging to replace equipment as well.
Yeah,
Um, like you should be putting money into an account for that, so that way when it does come, you're not taking it out of your repair account. You're taking that out of an account that you're already saving up for. So, and a lot of people like, well, you charge this much per hour. I'm like, well, because we can only work like 180, 200 days a year. In the winter, we can't really work unless you do snow. So my overhead, my 12 months of bills, I have to pay for every day that truck starts in the morning. Um, so little things like that, I never would have thought about anything like that. And then we have to wear like different hats, like marketing hats, and like we have to do so much things as a small business owner that you never really even thought of. You're not just cutting grass and making yards look nice. You're trying to be a marketer. You're trying to be an accountant. You're trying to do all that. So I'm just trying to take out all the the little steps and trying to learn quick,
Yep.
so.
No, that's fair. So, we it's 10 o'clock now. I'm about to wrap the show up, but before I let you go, Alan, where can everyone follow you? Before I get to the last question, where can everyone follow you, get in contact with you, and follow your content that you're now making?
Yeah, so Lemere Landscaping on Instagram. I'm gonna be starting YouTube a little bit soon. Just like everything else, I thought I was gonna do that last year, and then there's no time for it. So be starting that, do some education. I like to try to keep things funny sometimes, but I try to educate my clients. I try to make interesting reels to keep people like what we're doing, what we're using for other lawn care providers too. But we're going to LAL this week, so we'll be doing some live streams on Instagram. If anybody wants to follow that, if you want to join us, give us a call.
Yeah.
Go
I'll
to
be on one of your
Bryanston.
live streams. I'll be there too,
Yeah,
Alan.
yeah,
I'll be up there on Thursday.
yeah. I think Pookie's heading up there Thursday too, if he's in. Yeah,
Oh,
so
nice.
we'll have to grab dinner Thursday. So
Yeah, let's do it. Are you going Thursday as well?
yeah, we're leaving Wednesday night. We're driving because Rob and I from um Massachusetts. He bought a plow, a 14-foot plow at Snow Power, and they're out in Michigan. So we're gonna go pick that up. I'm gonna pick up a Magnamatic blade grinder, sharpener
Yeah,
when
I'm
I'm
gonna
out
get
there.
one too next year.
Yeah,
Beginning of the spring, I'm gonna get one too. That thing is fire. Gerd Bauer, the owner of Magnamatic, he, like I
he's
said,
awesome.
he, I mean, 10 minutes. He taught me more about the blades in 10 minutes than I've ever found out in 9 years of doing this. It was incredible. He made me a believer right there on that. That thing's expensive, man. Maybe I should have stayed the hell away, but now I want one. So
Yeah.
we
Well,
gonna get one.
he was on Brian's YouTube. It was like 100 or a 90-minute long YouTube thing. And I have ADHD and I'm glued to this thing watching about blades and angles and like I think I watched it twice. I'm like, this is awesome. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't afford that, but I mean, we saved up a bunch of money. We're trying to put money back in. So that's another efficiency thing and another quality thing. So um
Well, before I let you go, Alan, what is some good advice you would give to someone if they're brand new in business?
uh enjoy it. You get to work for yourself. That's probably the best thing. If you coach sports or you have children, you can make time available. Try not to work weekends. You're not going to take any money with you. We don't work Saturdays and Sundays. I mean, I could, but why do that?
Yep,
So
I
we
feel the
coach
same way.
sports and enjoy it, but be prepared to do the hard work and um, whatever a client wants within reason, do it. You need to make every client a fan because they're going to tell everybody about you. So that's how you're going to grow.
Yep, that's fair.
So, yeah,
I appreciate it, Alan, man. Thank you for coming on the show for your first time. I
yeah.
appreciate you. Make sure you go follow my man Lemere Landscaping on all the platforms, and you got a YouTube channel coming to you soon. Let's go. All right, Alan, I will see you on Thursday, bruh.
See you Thursday. We'll go probably go to the old B Dubs or wherever you want to go.
B Dubs, that's where I'll go out. You know where I
Yeah.
ain't going? Black Rock. I heard
Oh,
all of this cool stuff about Black Rock. I'm gonna tell you something right
that's
now.
the place stinks, and you end
Yeah,
up smell. You leave, you smell like a smoked steak and grease,
they
and
look. Everyone's telling me, "Oh, so place is amazing." And then there was this guy. I want to say his name was Clint, and he was like, "Yeah, we got some." Clint Furnett, I believe, was his name. He was like, "I got a reservation." I said, "You got room for two more?" Because my wife was with me. We come in. He was like, "Yeah." So we go there. It was awesome. We sit down. We're talking to everyone. It was time to order. So right before we order, I didn't know what Black Rock meant. I thought
yeah.
it was just the name of the thing of the restaurant. So they walked past me with literal raw steak, like just raw steak, just sitting there, no salt, no anything, just
No
raw
sauce.
steak and a hot Black Rock. And I looked at it when the I'm in the middle about the order, and the waitress walks past, Alan, and I look and I said, "Is that's how my stuff is gonna come like that?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's what this is." I said, "Can y'all cook it for me?" She was like, "Well, yeah." I said, "Yeah, can you do that? Cause like." What I ain't paying for is to cook my own food. I know there's some novelty when it comes to that, but I ain't coming to the restaurant to spend God knows how much. I can't even remember. I think it was expensive though. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I didn't even eat the steak, bro. And then it got left in the hotel. I didn't even eat the food.
Yeah.
That just goes to show I gotta shut the hell up sometimes, Alan. But
Yeah.
Black Rock, no, thank you. But Buffalo
Yeah.
Wild
We'll
Wings,
we'll keep it high end at B Dubs.
yeah, high end at B Dubs. That's right. Well, I appreciate you being on the show, Alan, and I will see you on Thursday, my
All
brother.
right. Good night.
Peace.
We'll talk. Good night, talking to everybody. Bye.
That was fire, man. That was my homie Alan Lemere. I'm sorry we didn't get to Drew. Alan was killing it, and Drew wasn't ready to swing the bat whenever uh we were calling him to the plate. So we'll get Drew on here at some point to talk because Drew is an awesome fan of the show and he's a cool young man I got to meet down at Equip Expo, and I got a lot of love for Drew. So I apologize we didn't get him on, but now it is time for the last shot. And when I get you out of here, we like to give you one last shot of motivation, inspiration. And sometimes we add a little bit of education, but it is getting towards the end of the season. And we started the show by telling you not to be robbed of your destiny, right? You went through this entire dope season. All right. And now you have to do one last thing, which is the last shot. Finish strong. We got to finish strong in the paint. When you go for a dunk, you can't just go in there soft. All right. You got to go in the paint hard, like you ready to get fouled. And we're going to the paint strong. We got to get that last minute layup so that we can go out here and win in our life. So for this particular year, finish the damn year strong so you can go home and feel like a champion, sipping the champagne from another successful season, because we ain't just out here to play the game. We're out here to win and to create a dynasty of our life. You heard about dynasties. Looks like we might be on the verge of one right now with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who won on a crazy dramatic double play at the end of the World Series. But they got two in a row. They win one more. Now we talking about dynasty. Shaq and and Kobe won three in a row. Dynasty. Tom Brady, dynasty. Michael Jordan, dynasty. What do all of those people have in common? They finish strong. And when you finish strong, you have the opportunity to win championship after championship after championship and turn your whole entire life into a dynasty, right? So get out there and finish strong so you can go out there and win in life. As always, I love you. I appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace.